Hello and welcome to Around the Wickets by ThePapare.com. Now, as you know, this is cricket's weekly brief that takes a summarized look at all that's happening in our favorite sport. Now, talking about all that's happening, I don't think you're very happy about Sri Lanka's performance against India in that second test match. We were all gaga when Sri Lanka beat India in Galle. We were talking about the game being turned on its head. But then what went wrong with Sri Lanka? Did they deserve to lose by 278 runs? I think it was the way the Sri Lankans approached this innings. And I also had this question about me. Was Sangakkara switched on, or was he not ready for these two test matches? It's just that he's had a break, he's been playing county cricket, and I got the feeling he was a little bit tentative against Ashwin, being dismissed by him on all four occasions. It's a very unlike Kumar Sangakkara's approach. But having said that, the Sri Lankans should have really looked at putting their hands up. Now, the young Sri Lankans in the first innings were good. Angelo Matthews was brilliant. Lahiru Thirimana supported him. But then what about the rest? It was Kusal Silva did come up with a good half century. But I was a little bit disturbed by the way Kusal Silva batted. I felt that he should have been pushing that single around a little bit more. And when Thirimana and Kusal Silva batted, I felt that Sri Lanka was going nowhere. Well, Thirimana's point, he was struggling against the off-spinner who was turning the ball, but he would have expected to try and rotate the strike. But anyway, Sri Lanka losing by 278 runs, and they now go into this third test match, which is so crucial. Now, India hasn't won a series in Sri Lanka since the 1990s. Now, that is 21 years of not winning in Sri Lanka. They'll want to somehow win this series, and I'll be very interested to see what kind of pitch the Sri Lankans will provide at the SSC. My gut feel, it will be a batting paradise. It will be a flat surface with nothing really to gain for the bowlers. And the Indian bowling attack, which is varied and which is good, with two very fine fast bowlers and the two spinners, they are... Well, they'll try to get something out of that SSC pitch, but on a good, solid surface, I believe Sri Lanka might be aiming at a high-scoring draw. Now, simply because they don't have Sangakkara, and the batting hasn't been very, very confident too. So, Sri Lankans, I think, should try and look at drawing this series. Trying to win is good, being positive is good, but also being realistic is another thing. So, let's see what they intend to do with the pitch at the SSC. Now, just talking a little bit about the third test match, Kumar Sangakkara is not going to be available anymore. And then Jehan Mubarak is his place under scrutiny. Now, in the first innings, I thought he was middling the ball brilliantly. I played down the wrong line, bowled by the leg spinner. But it was the second innings that he could have really made his mark. He should have put his hand up. He should have really given the selectors a note of what he's capable of. And also, it would have helped the Sri Lankan public to have so much of confidence and faith in Mubarak. Now, after promising so much with some brilliant performances in the domestic season, Mubarak did play against Pakistan, did play against India. He did promise until that last innings against India in that second test match, just hanging his bat out to Ishant Sharma and being caught at second slip. So now, Upul Taranga and Kusal Janith are the ones waiting in the wings, and I'm sure the selectors will want to go with both of them. And I get the feeling that Kusal Janith will be brought in just to try and change the tempo of the Sri Lankan batting and just letting him know that he could play a few shots. So let's wait and see. For India, they do have a problem. Murali Vijay is struggling. Despite batting brilliantly, he's struggling. And Saha, the wicketkeeper, is having a hamstring problem. Now, will India be tempted to use Rahul as a wicketkeeper? He was very good. The catch he took of Angelo Matthews in the very first ball of the last day was outstanding. So India may be tempted to use Rahul the way Rahul Dravid played. So we're still not sure as to what the replacements might be, but Pujara should definitely make into that Indian side. So let's wait and see what the Indians are planning to do. Right. We are also talking about the end of a glittering career of a true legend of not just Sri Lankan cricket, but of cricket in general. What an innings he's played for cricket. Tremendous player, an ambassador for the game in every sense. Kumar Sangakkara was simply outstanding. He did a brilliant job for Sri Lanka, and his performance at number 3 will be sorely missed. Now, it's up to the young Sri Lankans to put their hands up to try and fill those shoes, though those shoes are very, very big indeed. Not easy to fill, but let's hope somebody like Lahiru Thirimana will bide his time and come through. But as far as Sangakkara is concerned, he should, along with Muralidharan, really be called the top 2 test cricketers Sri Lanka has produced. Sangakkara's average, I think for someone who's played 100 test matches, should be the best batting average. And in terms of double hundreds, he's got 11. Now, I remember Sangakkara remained 199 not out in a test match against Pakistan at Galle. And when the Sri Lankan tail simply folded up. Now, had he got that one run, he would have equaled Sir Donald Bradman's 12 double hundreds. But then you can't have everything in life, can you? I mean, he went off on a high when it came to the World T20, when he bowed out of T20 cricket. But come the 50-over format, come the test format, Kumar Sangakkara's script wasn't as dramatic as everybody expected. Anyway, well done, Kumar. We wish you all the best in your second innings, as Sunil Gavaskar put it in his farewell speech to Kumar Sangakkara when he was bowing out of Test cricket. Now, talking about bowing out of Test cricket, 2 Australian greats. I would say 1 Australian great and 2 another very fine batsman, Michael Clarke and Rogers. They're both bowing out of Test cricket for Australia. And after a consolation win in the series, they did beat England by innings and 46 runs. England regaining the Ashes 3 matches to 2. But I'm not very sure that England was switched on. England had won the Ashes 3-1. They were all hyped up. And as far as the Oval Test, it was a dead rubber. So the Australians made good use of it, got something back in terms of revenge, but still the urn remains with England. So the next one is going to be the 5-match one-day series. I don't think the English public is very interested in one-day cricket. Their biggest interest is the Ashes. Do you know that in England, people cherish the Ashes more than the World Cup? So on that note, it's time to say goodbye on Around the Wickets on ThePapare.com. You can follow us, follow ThePapare.com for all that's cricket, and also send your queries to #AroundTheWickets on Twitter and also on Facebook, or you can also email us, editor@ThePapare.com. And let me remind you, we also do cricketry at the end of each day's play in Sri Lanka, India Test matches.